True success is being joyful, which we could explain it a little further, means in alignment with who you really are. But success is that alignment, because it's success with alignment of all that you've become vibrationally. So it means that success is alignment with everything that you've asked for so far and always will be. That's why people think it's about money, because it is sometimes, or about this or that. We're going to broaden that a little bit. We're just saying that there's a lot more in everyone's vortex than you are ready to articulate. So let's talk about what this speaks to loudest right here at first, is that so much of the world is focused upon each other and has a vibration of feeling forsaken and forgotten and not considered. A whole lot of people can resonate with that. It's what we meant earlier when we were talking about the emotional scale, with despair on one end and feeling wonderful on the other, and in the center of it is satisfaction, and so many people feeling so many of those things. An actor or entertainer can have in their vortex a desire for that kind of career, and a desire to be able to display any kind of emotion, a desire to be believed as an actor. And so they could be living a perfectly balanced life while they, in their balanced life, are an actor who presents. In other words, the performers, there is that thing that in the entertainment world is called typecasting, where someone just seems like that, and so that's the movie they always do, and maybe it's because that's who they really are. But the majority of those performers, especially actors, that's what their skill is, taking on characteristics that really is not them, and for a period of time presenting them. So if your question is doing that affecting your vibration? The answer is, to some degree, always, but it depends upon how much under the influence of your inner being you really are. How much stability do you have? You could be a really joyful person and go put on your makeup that makes you not look joyful and don that characterization that doesn't appear and have a successful career at it. No one from the outside can know what anybody else's relationship with their own inner being is. But in your humaning, you keep trying to do that. That's why you keep missing the mark on how anybody really feels about anything. Did you hear that? As you come to a forum like this, and here Esther is standing, and you're observing the physical body of Esther, and you're hearing Esther's phraseology and Esther's words, Esther's voice, and you could very well come to the conclusion, well, there's a woman who believes what she's saying and presents it in a pretty convincing way. And it's just another opinion, as there are billions of opinions on this planet. This is just another opinion offerer, and I can take it or leave it. And we feel that way about you feeling that way. That's just fine. But if you were to listen for a little while and find some softening of resistance as a result of what you're hearing here, and tune in a little more to your own inner being and your own guidance system, even without knowing you're doing that, and therefore feel some resonance with who you really are and what you really know. You might be inspired when we tell you that you have a vortex that exists, that there's a vibrational reality, and that it's a very high frequency because it has no resistance. And that if you could meditate and really quiet your mind, that your own vibration would rise. And when your vibration rises, it meets the equivalency of the vibration of your vortex. And then who you are in your vortex can come into your mind. Ideas come, and feelings come, and urges come, and impulses come, that as you follow them, you find success. You find the things that you want, accompanied by that joyful feeling that you're in the right place at the right time. It isn't the words that you are hearing here that we are counting on uplifting you. It's you feeling some resonance with something that causes you to recognize that there is another part of you, and a willingness to apply a process here and there, and having the actual personal experience of your vibration rising, and then feeling the clarity of what it feels like when you channel what your inner being knows about the moment in time or the subject that you're thinking about, and you follow through with the process. That's when you come to know. That's when you come to know. Meanwhile, it's just a whole bunch of people reading a whole bunch of books about a whole bunch of experiences and taking a little bit here and a little bit there, but not having any true basis of stability that you can always take to the bank. Was that helpful? Yeah. When you figure out how to get yourself tuned in, then you always know what to do. And while things keep coming up, because you're new every day, you're attracting new experiences, because expansion is the inevitable quality of all that is. Expansion must be. You have an option. It can be joyful or not joyful, but expansion is for sure happening. We don't want you to get into this place where you are guarding your thoughts, or you'll say, all right, I'll go along with this, Abraham, whatever it is, and I'll accept I create my own reality. And then you think a thought or speak a word and you go, cancel, try to suck it back before law of attraction gets hold of it. And we say, really, too late. Law of attraction got hold of it. So rather than trying to stop the car once you're at the bottom of the hill, just let it hit you and drown you and beat you up and suffer over it, and then come away with it from that experience with wisdom. I did not like that. I don't think I'm going to do that so much anymore. I'm going to step out in front of it before it has all that momentum going. It's just using your logic to realize it. Now you have this premise, it will really serve you. Do you know how many thoughts you don't have to sort out anymore? You don't have to debate with the world the rightness or wrongness of every issue that has ever been out there. You don't have to discuss that anymore. You don't have to figure that out. All you have to know to have your personal expansion and joyful collusion with the source within you is which thoughts feel good and which thoughts don't feel so good. Is that too simplistic? You are a thoughtful being, and you are a deliberate creator. And you like to contemplate. And when you use that skill to contemplate from the satisfied up part of the scale rather than from the unsatisfied down part of the scale, you're going to find such satisfaction on steroids with those thoughts that you are thinking. So you are a very clear-minded being who is accessing the energy that creates worlds to flow toward your creative endeavors. That's who you are. And when you do other than that, it sucks. It feels bad. And you use words like worry. All worry means is that you want something different than you're worried about. Do you know? Oh, you're going to like this because this speaks to who you are powerfully. Every subject is really two subjects, wanted and absence of what is wanted. So when you are in contrast, in the middle of contrast, worrying, feeling worry because you're there, you know what else is happening at the same time? As you are focused upon the problem, which is why you worry, you are creating the solution. At the same moment, thank you very much. Thank you very much. We really mean that. Thank you very much. While you are stewing over the problem, you are creating a solution, which is the expansion of the universe. So, you might just think about that while you're worrying. Hey, I am creating the solution here, and while I can't see it, because I'm so actively intertwined with the problem, when I let this go, since I own this, and since my inner being is all over the solution, and my inner being is revealing to me things about the solution all day, every day, in the absence of my worry, the solution will occur to me. And you know what that'll make you do? We want this to happen to you. We want you to feel about your worry like we feel about your worry. Thank you very much. Thank you for being willing to acknowledge that something isn't the way you want it, and for launching a rocket of desire for the improvement of all that is in generations to come. But now do yourself a big favor and use your guidance system the way it's meant to be. As soon as you can, turn your attention toward what you're wanting. And so sometimes those subjects that you've worried about for a long time, they'll keep coming to you so you can just sort of chip the edges off of them a little bit at a time. Because every time you feel a little relief, your vibration is where you last left it. So as you're really worried about something, but then you talk about these general concepts and you remind yourself that you're creating solutions, then you've moved it to a different place. And in time, that worry is going to be more like satisfaction, where you have more creative control. Don't ask yourself to defy the laws of the universe. Don't ask yourself to stand at the bottom of the bay and stop that momentum. Stop it sooner. And be proud of yourself for being knocked over by momentum enough times to help you make a new decision. And my new decision is, I don't want to worry so much. My new decision is, I want to be more aware of my guidance system. My new decision is, I want to be more in sync with who I really am. I want to get back to something really important, and that's on the new edge of this leading edge that we are all a part of. Since you are out here on this leading edge, and since you are interacting with so many others, we understand why it feels logical to you to give them so much of your attention and to want attention from them. We understand why you want them to understand you, why you want them to get you. We just want to say something to you that might help. Nobody's ever going to get you. They're not going to understand you. You have come as this blessed humanity with such diversity. You didn't come to mimic each other. You came to be springboards to one another for expansion and evolution. Does that make some sense to you? So if you have what you think is the good fortune, and we see it as the bad fortune, of having lots of pleasers around you, then what you've got are those who will do their best to conform to you. And what that does, what it really does, while you think it might be the answer to living happily ever after, what it does is it puts you in a position of replacing them, and we love them too, but they are fickle and inconsistent, of replacing them with your true guidance. You ever tried to please someone and you just finally figured out what they need and want from you, and then they change and want something else? Well, your own inner being will keep up with your expansion and your evolution. And so that's really what we want to help you to decide in a stronger way. We want you to decide that what's physical is wonderful, but we're going to be saying to you, and we don't mean to offend you, but it probably will. And that is, you all, who we adore, do a whole lot of humaning. You human with each other. You're humaning, and you write books about it, and you try to figure it out, and you take all the things that you're creating and you sort them into piles of right and wrong, and then you argue with each other over your piles. That's what we mean by humaning, where what you really want is to feel thankful and appreciative of every one of them for what they are contributing to the mix. Because out of this mix, you are coming to your brilliant and important conclusions about what you prefer in your evolution expansion process. And you, at all levels of your being, even cellular, are launching rockets of desire. And your inner being is following that rocket and focused upon it and becoming one with it and serving as a powerful point of attraction, so that cooperative components are being gathered on your behalf about everything that you ask for, about everything you want. And so there is this vibrational reality that is forming. You could see it like a baby gestating in a womb. It is a forming of your creation. It is vibration turning to thoughts, and thoughts turning to things. And you are a creator who has come to have the experience of turning thoughts to things. You're out here on this leading edge, where the most exhilarating experience that ever could be in all of the universe is to have exposure to life that causes you to ask for more, and have universal forces that you want to call God lining up behind you and helping you in the creation of whatever it is that genius and worthy and blessed you could possibly ask for. And you only get off kilter when you start asking each other's opinion about what's right and wrong, when you defy your own guidance system and try to please somebody else that ultimately cannot really be pleased in the long run. Really good.